Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer, this is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? Hold it! But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for those crimes. One thing I can say for sure, he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is? I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files. Oh, I need to... okay, my bad. I thought there was... So I have to go to the end part there. Oh, god damn it. I went too fast. Gonna die. Actually, before we get there... Let me save that just to be safe. Okay. Now let's take a look at the SL9 incident and figure out why. Because a blue badger, no. Because... Criminal Joe Dark, crime, serial murder, sentence death. Victims. Ah, Neil Marshall. Neil Marshall. I wonder who that might be related to. Objection! Objection! Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Good night, Messiah. Thanks for stopping by, man. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. Now I remember. Olé! That's right, he was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, chief detective at the time. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Yeah, because it was coordinated. Chance? It's got to be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. That's not true. But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. Hey, Law! Oh God, Law. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All the mysteries at the police department have been uncovered. No contradictions remain. The murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. There were no errors in the testimony of the witness, Angel Starr. Not true. If you have a response, make it one word or less. Arg! I rest my case. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Hold it! Your Honor! Wait! Emma, the defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor. Oh, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Emma ran off when she was confronted with the information about the killings, the John Dark killings. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So, did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clues we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Hey, what's up, Demiser? What's going on, man? Looking at the floor prints, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use, but still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. Ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. Saving just in case. Just in case. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? Gotta object for something. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. I haven't figured it out yet. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Oh yes, yes he is. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? The jar? I'm guessing. Take that! As they say back west, even a blind man can hit with buckshot. That is, so long as he's facing the general direction. Seems Mr. Wright's not sure which direction to face. It's no use. The more evidence there is, the more wrong choices. Just calm down, Mr. Wright. Try and remember what the evidence room was like on the day of the crime. What is it that bothers me about this blood mark? Please allow me another chance, Your Honor. I'll prove it this time. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. I thought because the jar wasn't on there. Footprints. Ah. Proves something is missing in the floor plans. My badge, no. Oh, how did he get the handprint on there with Blue Badger in front of him? Badger! What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. He couldn't do it because the Blue Badger was in front of them. The Blue Badger's not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? Gah! That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. What? Blue Badger! So that means, just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found in that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? And that's because Goodman was killed once, then his ID card was taken, then he was brought back. Like I said, the murder didn't happen there. One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. And that's what that 7777 thing is. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown in this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refute you. I object to your objection. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found in the locker. I like he's like, boom, 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 boom. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, thank you for the follow, Night Lake. Welcome to the Argonauts, Knight. Welcome back. Or welcome in, I should say. Welcome to the Argonauts. When did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves it occurred. When did the first incident occurred? To surmise, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was disguised as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. The blood mark in the locker proves this. Thank you. It's actually Old Lake. Is this Lake Plantain Lake? Old Lake. It's not. Lake Plantain's already here, right? Old Lake, you've been here before? Well, welcome back then. Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? Proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place? There's only one piece of evidence that can show that, and that's the ID card. Oh, okay, I figured. What's up, Lake Plantain? Welcome in then, Night Lake, Lake Plantain, Night Lake. What shows when the first crime took place? No, not that one. 7777. Take that! If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the perpetrator would have to have entered the room. In order to do so, an ID card is required. An ID card. Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. No, we need you, gentlemen, to counterbalance. Old Lake Plantain is a JTV account, so you're making a new one. I got you, Knight. Okay, sounds good. No, we need you as counterbalance, gent. Don't desert us. Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done? I never figured you had nerve, boy. Put off the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. Well, also Shadowed Mage, you know, of course, all my mods are helping. Shadowed helps, Law helps, Thoric helps. It takes a lot to compensate for Xanos. Xanos is actually a good moderator. It's just that, you know, I made him a moderator partly to sort of keep him under wraps, you know. Because Xanos has an actual sense of responsibility that I appeal to. And every so often I call him out on it. He's like, God damn it, you've found my secret. There's only one other card number remaining. 777777. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Officer Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 77777777. That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 777777 belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher. Someone who's a so-called executive officer. Gant, because Gant is the one who freaking did it, as I've been talking about the whole time. You bastard, you swore you'd never tell. This is like me where I just revealed it. I like did the finger point. I'm like, because you have a sense of responsibility. And Xanos is like, what? We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous. Just how... I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 777-7777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All what I want to know is one thing. The SL9 incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Oh boy. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana! I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't... I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why don't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence. Yep. There it is. See? That's what I'm talking about. No. Oh! Order! 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 Lana's remark caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. To be continued. Damn, man. The plot thickens. Again. Wow. This reminds me a little bit of, has anyone ever seen, or actually I shouldn't say seen, read the book by Agatha Christie? I don't know if anyone reads any mysteries, Agatha Christie stuff, but there's a book called Curtain with Hercule Poirot, which was like one of her famous detectives. One of her famous detectives was Miss Marple, and the other one was Hercule Poirot. There's a incredible book that she wrote, which was one of her last, called Curtain, which is Hercule Poirot's final case. And this is reminding me a lot of that. So, do not cliffhanger, Arv. I know, right? Right? Cliffhanger time. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the time. All right. I think I got another hour in me, so I'm going to take a quick break, folks, and stretch my legs and all that stuff. I suggest you guys do the same. And then we will come back. I've got another hour in me. Hopefully that'll be enough to get through the investigation portion of this day. And then that will leave Thursday's session to go over the last and final day of trial testimony, because this is day 3. So let me save this. Let me leave you guys with a little bit of music, and I will be back to you guys in 5 minutes. 5 minutes time, and then I will catch all of you then. So please stretch your legs, get up, walk around, get a drink, get some food, get some snacks, and I'll catch you all back here in 5. See you then. Sorry.
Oh, well, hello, it's nice to see you, but I wouldn't want to be you. No, I'd rather be myself. Though I can tell you've got your reasons, and you're a good one for all seasons. You're just a picture of good health. Oh, but you see, I've got my own things, despite the problems that they all bring. At least I feel like mine to lose. I'd rather fight and lose my own wars and get to close my own doors. At least then I'm the one to choose. Well, this is on me, only on me, yeah, this is on me. Well, it's so very hard to be someone like me, yeah, someone like me, oh, someone like me. And in the time I built my own space, it comes to win my own race. In the time I found my home, you could have helped me in my travels. Instead you helped me to unravel. You know you played a kind of bold. Oh, in the home I hold my heartbeat. In the place I try to repeat all the things that worked before. Well, if you break it down as I did, and if you take me at my own bid, if you knew me at my core. Oh, this is on me, only on me, yeah, this is on me. It's so very hard to be someone like me, yeah, someone like me, oh, someone like me. It's nice to see you, but I wouldn't want to be you. No, I'd rather be myself. Though I can tell you've got your reasons, and you're a good one for all seasons. You're just a picture of good health. Oh, but you see, I've got my own things, despite the problems that they all bring. At least I feel like mine to lose. I'd rather fight and lose my own wars and get to close my own doors. At least then I'm the one to choose. Oh, this is on me, only on me, yeah, this is on me. Well, it's so very hard to be someone like me, yeah, someone like me. Oh, this is on me, only on me, yeah, this is on me. Well, it's so very hard to be someone like me, yeah, someone like me. Drift out of my high head, take my body instead. I'll need my senses now. I'll need a way to show you how. It's not that I just don't care, but I've just become aware. Is this your picture here? Why won't you was fresh and new, when it all seemed clear to you, when your aim was straight and true. Well, your mind untroubled by the questions in the dark, content to play your part, open pathways to your heart. Well, your life untainted by a host of broken dreams, when all your acts were queens, understood all that it means. Could you have understood the way your life was bound? Did you ever wonder how you got from there to now? Oh yes, you're gonna fly away from here, where the sky grows more clear, and your problems disappear, drift away down below. Watch them go down to your friends, where the trouble never ends, and there's always just one more day left to go. Go on and search now through your pile of broken lies, and your set of fake goodbyes, another cynical disguise. When will they catch you? All those little things you said, will it turn around instead? Blame the voices in your head with all your...
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold it! This is not yet happening. We are not yet leaving, people. Okay, guys. I want to first of all ask a favor. First of all, welcome back, everybody. Please stop with the fake timeouts, please. Please stop with the timeouts. I've sort of made jokes about that. I'm now serious. Please stop. Because people who are coming in who are new are not going to get the joke, and they're going to think it's the kind of thing where it happens all the time. So please, no more timeouts unless they are warranted for real. Okay? So please, 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 stop with the timeouts. Now, I am back, and no, I am not leaving. As I told you guys, I have another hour in me, so I will run until probably about quarter to 12, 1:30, quarter to 2, something like that. For one time, I have another giveaway to do, and hopefully we'll be able to do a raid of some kind tonight as well for this part 2 of this cast. So welcome back in, and I hope everyone is doing well. And thank you so much for watching, and let's see what we can find out in the final day. For those of you who are new, by the way, and just quickly perusing the list, I do see a few people who are new. So if you are new, welcome to the stream. I hope you like what you see in here and will be interested in following. My name is Arvin Elleron. I play lots of different sorts of games, play different sorts of games, and especially story and narrative based games. So I tend to play a lot of RPGs, some adventure games like the Arkham series, Shadow of Mordor, and of course a game like this is right up my alley. I've been having a lot of fun with Phoenix Wright, which is almost finished. I'm on the last episode and the final day, and then when that is complete, I am going to finish up my Ultima Underworld run, and then it is on to, thanks to the badass IAK Enforcer, then it is on to Dragon Age Inquisition. So that is what we're looking at. And by the way, for those of you who weren't here earlier today, after Dragon Age Inquisition, then we're going to play Talisman of Death, which is the next fighting fantasy game book. After Talisman of Death, we're then going to be playing Assassin's Creed 4. After Assassin's Creed 4, I'm going to be playing probably Trails of Sky. That will depend a little bit on the schedule as far as where we are in the year at that point, because it's going to be next year, obviously, by that point that we get to those. And then we will see. Then I'm going to take a look around and kind of take stock of what games are out there. I have a lot of ones that are backlogged that I'm thinking about playing. We also have The Witcher 3 that's coming out, and Arkham Knight that's coming out, and a bunch of other ones that are coming out. So tons and tons and tons of things. And the other thing I wanted to mention was, as well, that I think, I have not fully confirmed this yet, but it looks like Thursday, December 18th is going to be the interview with the Shadowgate developer. This is the person who did the remake of Shadowgate. And it's also the person who worked on Deja Vu and games like that. So if you're familiar with the sort of adventure game style, that's what this guy worked on. And thanks to Foom, I've been able to make a connection there. So I believe the interview for that will be happening Thursday, December 18th, but I will know about that going forward. So that's where we are. So, yes, I think that's all I have to say. Oregon Trail. I don't know, Demiser. It's a good question. Oregon Trail. I do have to think about that down the line. Okay, let us get back into it then, and let us switch back over to the power of Phoenix Wright. Okay. February 24th, 3:12 p.m. Wright and Company Law Offices. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. But that's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. Let's chat more about that. Haha, because Lackmere isn't in it, right? Hey, what's up, G-Man? What's going on, my dude? It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I'll have to keep that in mind in case I need to deal with that case, too. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture? I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. It was the Flash. There you go. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. And then all of a sudden Emma looked at her and she was like, "Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play." Okay. See you in Lurk Mode Law. Have fun with the essay, man. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma, you've been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. It's amazing. Luminol, Luminol, let's spray a Luminol. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable. Just that she's 15, she would have been 13. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. Oh, money. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. Something puzzling. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor. Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across in the elevator. Across in the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Yes, because clearly detective to lawyer, that happens all the time within a 2-year period, definitely. Lana used to be a detective? I'd better have another talk with her. Alright, let's chat with Lana. February 24th, Detention Center. Visitor's Room. Also known as the WTF interview. Lana! Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details? Especially about that unusual change of jobs? You did in 2 years? Beat that? Oh my gosh, Matt! I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. Let's talk about the trial, shall we? A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen. I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. Thank you, Shadow. I believe that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before. Let's talk more about this then. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? Then he was the vice head of criminal affairs, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. It was like precog. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. And the reason I became a detective was... to gain experience investigating crime scenes, you could later use that experience in court. Gant's help in the SL9 case was critical in its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Maybe I should, why don't I? 2 years ago, I was second in command of the easy for me to say. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the chief detective was, no doubt, Damon Gant? Yes. Detective Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. It's like the Avengers. These are like the Untouchables, is what we're talking about. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when the last murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Alright, let's talk about that first one at the scene. Detective Gant and Prosecutor Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages when Dark must have panicked. He waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there he ran straight to the office shared by Detective Gant and myself. That's where he found me! So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. Whoa. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim Emma who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her after all her sister might have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident? That's right. Quite a coincidence, I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that occupies himself. The chief's office. Good night, Wyval. Thanks for stopping by, man. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. Let's do it. February 24th, Police Department. Criminal Affairs. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The head of the department seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right, we can come back here later. That's because I'm just trying to find the freaking... Oh. Sigh. I'm just trying to find where the detective would be. February 24th, Police Department. Entrance. Home of the Blue Badger. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall. I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera, sera. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck would run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Alright, I'll talk to him, but that's not what I was going to do. I was looking for freaking Gant. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, all right. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. Alright, let's talk about Prosecutor Marshall. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he, your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You don't mean King of Prosecutors? Not that again. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Right, so it always happens the same way. See, I think Gant was the killer. Yes, Thorg, exactly. That's my take. I think Gant is the killer. And I think Gant has to be the one that... I need to find Gant is what I need to do. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. Can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. Let's talk about those scars. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? They did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Oh, don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Chief Detective Damon Gant and his second-in-command, Lana Skye. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. She was covering for her partner. She was covering for Gant. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. That's just capital K and then lowercase APPA. Alright, let's get to... I need to get to the prosecutor's office. February 24th, prosecutor's office. Underground parking lot. No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. We proved in court today that no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway on our case. But instead it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow. Alright. February 24th. High Prosecutor's Office. Room 1202. Mr. Edgeworth isn't here. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. He took a real beating in court today. Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago. I guess we'll just have to come back later. I already know about that, so there's nothing here. Won such a prestigious award. Why would you just leave it on the couch? Better this than that giant steel samurai. Edgeworth has always been like that. Back in elementary school, he won awards for all kinds of things. Speech contests, essays, playing the flute, golf tournaments. That doesn't exactly sound like typical elementary school stuff. But he always hated receiving awards. He'd make some smart remark like, I know the path I've walked. No one else needs to tell me. That's how he's always been. Kind of gets under your skin, doesn't it? Okay. So this is not the deal. Alright, so I need to find Gant. Alright, so underground parking lot was not it. Actually, wait. Just make sure there's nobody over here. Okay. Not the detention center. It's not the High Prosecutor's office. Maybe it's the detention center. I need Gant is what I need. No. The hell do I get to Gant's? February 24th, Police Department, Criminal Affairs. Yeah, exactly, Thor. What a loser that guy is. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. Must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what she said in the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir? We'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just head across the hall to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. You mean, it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right, you can't go in there, it's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the Chief's office. There we go. Chief's office. Whoa! February 24th, Police Department, Chief's office. And also... Oh, man. That's me with the organ music dragon. That was me, not the game. It's not Karma's office, I know, right? Whoa, where am I? In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. Kindergarten? You used to call me Little Miss Bach. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. I never could remember where C was. Hmm? Oh, it's you two! Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, Mr. Wright, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full, too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? Oh, brought back memories of your dad playing the organ? I didn't know that your dad was an organist, Dragon. That's awesome, man. I've talked about really... I've always been really impressed with organ music myself. We had at my church a pretty good organ. I mean, not that impressive, but pretty good organ. And I remember actually playing for New Year's Eve one time. I ended up playing a version of Auld Lang Syne where the organ played the Auld Lang Syne part, and I was improvising over the top. And that was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool to be playing next to it. Looks like you're back in business. Yeah! 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies! See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. Well, yeah, for one thing, someone's been cut out of it. And the jar, that's the vase in the back. The broken vase. Can't quite seem to put my finger out, though. The broken vase. Gantt team picture out of the court record. I got it. It's the vase. Oh, I see, Dragon. You know, that's interesting, man. I mean, like, my mother, who passed away now 5 years ago, my mother was also in musical theater. I think I may have talked about this before. She was in the Traveling Company in The Sound of Music in the 60s. So she was the, touring company with Broadway musicians and other musical stuff that she did. And so, she and I used to share that as well. I would play trumpet, she would play piano. So I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And that's the kind of thing that I've tried to share a little bit with my daughter in a different way. I mean, I play, my music is progressive rock and that sort of thing, and jazz. And so I've been able to communicate some of that to my daughter, and we've talked quite a bit about the sort of musical connections there. And she does a lot of singing. She loves my second album, and she actually sings songs with me, and she pretends that she's one of the characters in the songs and stuff. So, yeah, that's the kind of thing that gets passed down from parent to child to parent to child. And I'm sorry that the memory, I'm sorry that it's a sad memory, but hopefully it's also a good one, a positive one that you were able to share as well. So, let's see. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Looks like we are. Welcome. It seems that case isn't over with yet after all. What do you mean? Chief Gantt denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. Well, yeah, no kidding. You mean like a clue? There's got to be a way we can get inside the chief's office. Blue Badger is still writhing around today. We will infiltrate using the Blue Badger. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing about like crazy since the other day. Can I take out his batteries? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty. Oh, his poster of Casablanca survived. That's cool. That sucks about the flood, though, Dragon. Look, that patrolman is slewing the other guy. He must be a detective. So I cuffed the lout, right? And you know what he says? What are you, a moron? I'm an undercover agent. Oh, man, I hate it when that happens. I guess he wasn't saluting. He was just listening to how his friend messed up. They make a good pair. All right. So this is not it. I got to talk to someone about how to get into his office. I need to talk to what's-her-face. I need to talk to Lana. Maybe she'll know how to get in there. February 24th, Police Department, Criminal Affairs. Yeah, I think Maya's better. Although I do like Emma. And I do actually think Emma is more useful than Maya. Just from a practical point of view. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe, were you in a meeting? I was, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long in the meeting? Actually, I had to serve everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle's between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. Div, that's funny. What is that? What is going on with the... Why were you timed out? Oh, okay. Alright, good. I was like, what? That was kind of funny, Div. Go ahead and post that again. We need to get up there, man. Let's talk about Edgeworth first. Why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence he presents in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. Those who don't like him haven't been able to do anything because of his amazing talent as a prosecutor. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only had that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime, my treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. Seems you don't have any problem with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Let's talk about SL9, shall we? Actually, I took a look at the file earlier where the coffee was brewing. Seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Doc left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall who was trying to protect some girl? Me. It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was a girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with a murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Alright, we'll do that in a minute. Let's talk about Dark's crimes first. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So it was an accident? An accident, yes. But it transformed him into an animal. Yeah. Welcome back, Frosty. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed the accident. And he killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. And then when he was burning the bodies, a jogger came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, it turned himself in. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but fortunately he was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness. He must mean Emma. Alright, so let's take a look at the murder weapon, shall we? This one. About this. Hey, don't tell me there's a tag attached to it with label SL9 instant on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. What was it? This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, and it has fingerprints on it, too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well anyway, take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet, down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Neil's autopsy report added to the court record. Switchblade knife added to the court record. Okay. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now and his office is locked, but we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. I won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. Do it for Edgeworth. That's it. That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got. I know about that. Thanks, Private. Appreciate that, man. Award for diligence. I already know this part. Na. No, that's not it. I was thinking about that. Inspire him with the, Thorg. Come on, man. I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. I think people are accusing him of injustice. I ain't buying it, pal. You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah. It was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, a serial killer was on the loose. Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dark guilty. I wonder if I can get Edgeworth to... Okay. I'm gonna go see if... I don't even know if he's gonna be there. I'm gonna go see if I can find Edgeworth and convince Edgeworth to give me something that will make Gumshoe change his mind. That's my plan. And if he's not there, I gotta go back. Are you there, Edgeworth? Maybe. February 24th. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is! It looks like he's writing something. Huh? What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? Like some people, I don't have all day. Let's talk about this, Edgy. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Man, Edgeworth, you gotta admire Edgeworth. He's got conviction, man. And convictions, yeah! Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Bad touch. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. Oh, but that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? That list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but at the time there was only one thing on my mind. I'd use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture. Something seems strange about it. It's that vase. I'll show him that picture in a minute. Would you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gann asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So, Arv. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? That's right. Alright, let's talk about this picture, first of all. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gann's. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was the official prosecutor trophy used until that time. There's a story behind it. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. Times. Raid! Wiggle Nation raid! Oh my goodness, a raid is coming in. What is going on? Hello, raiders. Here comes the raid. What is up, UGR Gaming? Hello, Sample Cheeks 87. What's going on, Yoki Hero? Hello, JCAC for Life 29. Thank you for the follow, sir. Welcome to the Arvanauts. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. What's up, Lester is mad? Hello, guys. Raider time. What's up, Sample Cheeks 87? Thank you so much for the follow. Hello, Triggle Mayhem. Welcome in, guys. It's a wiggle raid. Thanks, UGR. I appreciate it, dude. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome to my channel. We are in the midst of finishing up the last episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Thank you for the follow, Yoki Hero. Good raid, guys. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks, everybody. My mods and chat is prepared for the raid. We're not going to do what Zeke does, where we, like, attack back. No, we appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. What's up, Monkey Shines? Welcome in. Good to see everyone here today. UGR Gaming as well. Oh, thanks, UGR. I appreciate that, sir. You are most welcome, sir. I appreciate it. I feel like Aragorn. You are most welcome. Yeah, I saw the host too. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it very much. Thanks, guys. Welcome into the stream. I am finishing up Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney at the moment, at least the investigation part of the last day. And I'm going to be on for another 20 minutes or so anyway. Then I'm going to be cleaving off for a while. What's up, Monkey Shines? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it, sir. Welcome to the Arvanauts. So after that, I'll be done. Thank you for the follow, Lester is mad. More people can watch me play lawyer. That's right. Yeah, I got about another 20-25 minutes tonight, and then I'll have a giveaway at the end of the stream, and then on Thursday, I'll be finishing this game up completely. Then I do my Ultima Underworld run, I finish that up, and then it's on to Dragon Age Inquisition, so that's where we're looking back. Hope we tickle back to the feathers? Yeah, throw Arvin run, he should buy us some time, nice. Thank you so much again for the raid, UGR, and welcome to all the new folks from UGR's stream. If you guys already aren't doing so, please follow UGR Gaming. I appreciate it very much when people come over and raid, and UGR has been hanging out here for a while, so thank you very much. And thanks for the follow, Trigger Mayhem. Trigger Mayhem! I like it. I'm not giving... No, this hat stays with me, man. Alright, let's get back to it. Thanks again for the raid and the host. I appreciate it, sir. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Okay. What about this autopsy report? Okay, he doesn't know what this is about. Doesn't matter. That is the code for I don't know what to do here. Don't need this either. Ah, come on. I thought I was going to get something with that. I'm all the monkeys. Pleasure, man. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna guess he doesn't know what to do about that. Alright, well tell me more about this screwdriver. What? You're not gonna tell me more about this? I already know about that, but this isn't related to the case, remember? You said so yourself. So I did. Ah, it is different. Chief Gant gave this to you that day, didn't he? Good night, Lester. Thanks for stopping by, man. He asked you to bring it here from the police department. What were you playing, UGR? If I may ask, what game were you playing on your stream? The chief is a very competent man, but sometimes he does things that don't make any sense. At least it's better than being incompetent and doing things that don't make sense. A certain detective comes to mind. Alright, let's talk about that prosecutor trophy. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though, for Emma's sake? Very well. Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Oh, Phoenix, calm down. He's like, objection! Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Thanks for the follows, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with a merchant at a loss for words, but it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion. I wonder if it's actually true, this story. Even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Because he used the halberd as the actual murder weapon. Remember they said that the knife didn't actually fit? It wasn't the actual murder weapon? The halberd, I bet that was the actual murder weapon. King Prosecutor's Trophy updated in the court record. Alright. Now I want to examine things because he's got that paper behind him. I wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract him. I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet. Didn't even look. What? Letter of... If you can't read, I'll read it for you. It says, Letter of Resignation. Oh, snap. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, Mr. Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died. Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. That's what he said when he was a kid. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. Well, of course he's emo ninja. Look at the cravat he's wearing. This dude sits in his office and listens to Evanescence while freaking, you know, staring out the window and making his own henna tattoos. I mean, this guy is emo with a capital E. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh. I think he's serious. Mr. Wright! Please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. That's what we're going to use to convince Gumshoe to let us in. That's what we're going to use. Easy. Alright, we're out, Edgeworth. I'm racist. I'm racist against emos. February 25th, Prosecutor's Office, underground parking lot. First floor of the building, where an emo man lives. I don't want to fake, can't wake up. I don't want to save me from the birth. Sorry. Excuse me. Oh, you. Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef? Miss Starr, I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene happened to witness? Closet emu, it's true. The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. The Star's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Alright, let's chat. It does sound like Law and Order. I'm using the sound. Because it's an awesome sound. To use in an emergency. Even when you're around the dinner table. Please pass the butter. Joe Dark, that's not a name I'll soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. I know, Shadowed, I know. I got another, 15 minutes. I'd love to get through this investigation part, but we'll see. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her, Lana Skye, my sister. The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant. Let's talk about what happened after the case closed. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. Oh, you know what? I didn't check. I'm sorry. Wait, I want to go up what UGR said he was playing. I missed it. Oh, you were playing Destiny. Okay, okay. Cool. Cool, Destiny. You having fun with it? So Destiny, I assume you started playing that game and you haven't been able to stop since because Destiny is the most addictive game ever, right? Everyone who tells me, my friend Inaminatus, who's another streamer that you guys should be following, most people in my chat know about him already. Inam is like all about Destiny all the time. So I'm gathering you're in that same position. That's why we're so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong. Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you didn't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used. We'll get into that. Dragon Age RPG for the win. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, man. Dragon Age Inquisition. After I finish this game, I'm finishing up my Ultima Underworld run, and then it's DAI is up next. Dragon Gant and I would assume you'd count as an RPG. Yeah, why wouldn't you? Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 years ago, Gant was chief detective and Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence, right, he forged. Incredible evidence, you mean... Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. Yeah, Div. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Do you want to build a snowman? Being used. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief. That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There's only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he can control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. I hope so too, lady. And we'll know that as soon as we get back to Gumshoe. February 24th, Police Department, Criminal Affairs. Oh, you're back! You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ. I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's got to be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Oh, there is. There is. And that is the letter of resignation, because boy, does he love Edgeworth. He is a big fan. Due to recent events, I hereby announce my resignation as public prosecutor. He really wrote a resignation letter. Wow, even when resigning, Mr. Edgeworth is cool and concise. Still, it wasn't his fault. Someone has to be held responsible. That's how it is in the grown-up world. Yeah, but that responsibility means nothing if he just quits. Well, not everyone sees it that way. To truly take responsibility, you should have to work the rest of your life for no pay. Sometimes the grown-up world can be tough. Alright. Actually, wait a second. Just in case. I don't think this is going to be an issue, but I think on the back of it, okay, good. Just making sure. What's this crumpled up piece of paper? Uh-huh. But no way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious. Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they've pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. At first, I thought he was as cold as ice. But now I know different. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I made up my mind. But I've made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. Dude, here I go again on my own. Dude, going down the only road Gumshoe's ever known. Okay. Like detectives, I was born. Sorry. But here, take my ID card. We can't do that. If someone found out, hey Parker, what's up, man? They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret. Look at me. It's no secret I'm out of the loop. I would break Edgeworth's heart. Who is Gumshoe I see staring straight back at me? Maybe you should take my green ID for you. Thanks, Frosty. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. But depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright, detective. Thank you. Gumshoe's ID tucked swiftly into your pocket. Alright. Chief's office time. February 24th. Police Department. Chief's office. That's Mulan, yeah. Here goes, Mr. Wright. There it is, the organ. Open sesame. If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Eek! Gah! I'm sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah, Detective Gumshoe. What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Crumpled Gumshoe's ID card in pocket. Hey, don't do that to my card. I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now, come on, let's see what we can find out. Got a bad feeling about this. Alright, let's talk to you first before we examine. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago, I recognized that window. Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see. So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk? No one except Chief Gant, and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Oh, I don't know about that. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah. You wouldn't be... No. No, there's no way. Oh, never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, now then, let's look around a bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy. Huh? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go with that. Sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think. Chief Gant. Might be a suspect, do you? What? Yeah, Mr. Wright, what do we think of him? Yeah, he's a suspect. Chief Gant, so it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. There he goes, ignoring me again. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to actually do some work, please. Thank you. Thank you for the follow, Half Transformer. Thank you for transforming fully into an Arbonaught. I appreciate it, Half Transformer. Let's see. These shelves are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. I'm also going to dust these as well. There's a small picture frame on the left shelf. Hey! This is when Lana and I went to that theme park. Alright, let's take a look at a few other things. Alright, I already got that. Let's take a look at that window. Look at that giant window. Makes you want to crash through it and jump outside. This is the 15th floor. I know, I was just saying. Saying what? Ever since making a detective, I've always dreamed about doing something like that. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams. So long as he doesn't go crashing through that window when he gets fired. Don't say that! This was Lana's desk. It sure is tidy. Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner. There's not even any dust on it. Looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Has Lana ever come back here? No. Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of their partnership. They were the stuff legends are made of. Does he keep it in memory of her or in memory of the crime? That vase is going to be key. I gotta say, Strike, I mean, I've been following this a little bit. I actually like pausing the game in the action, so I don't see it as a flaw in gameplay. So, but I have a feeling that you're not going to see it. Good night, Dragon Spear. Thanks for stopping by, man. I have a feeling you're not going to convince people, though, so that's cool. You don't have to like it. I'm going to see whether I like it or not. I didn't really like Dragon Age Origins all that much, and I didn't play DA2, but DAI looks pretty good to me. But we'll see. I'm going to try it myself, and if I don't like it, then I won't like it. We'll see. The day Joe Dark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma. After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here and went along with Chief Gant to question Dark. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. Gee, you think? I love how there's an organ. The Chief's organ sure is a sight to behold. Occasionally we hear him playing it from the Criminal Affairs Department. That's on the 2nd floor, and this is the 15th. When a detective screws up, the Chief calls into his office, makes him listen to the organ for hours. What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul. After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in his ears. So it's an instrument of punishment, literally. But aren't the Chief's ears affected? He never listens to anyone anyway. That's beside the point. Interesting. We'll have to come back to that. I'm gonna dust this place as well. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. A 7-digit number. I think I just might know what it is. Yep, I know what it is. Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date. It's... No. I know exactly what it is. I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. That's the code. Same ID code. Yep. Same deal. Bingo. What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? 777-7777. The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 777777? That ID number? I think you're 1-7 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. No, I'm... Well, maybe it's the... Then I guess it's the former, Strike. No, that was easy. They said... I've been on Gant as far as this being... Him being the actual, like, power behind the throne here for the last day and a half. And there was one ID number that was unfilled, and Edgeworth said at the trial yesterday that the reason they couldn't fill it is because they couldn't get access to a higher level person, and the only way to do it is to accuse him of a crime. Gant hasn't been accused of a crime. Everyone else is out of the picture. One guy in the SL9 crime is not accounted for, and that's him. 777-7777. You have the same combination of your luggage. Say, anyone care to look inside? Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away? Look, it's a... Yep, the last piece of the vase. Shard from a broken cup. Called it. Somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? Oh, I know. There's something else in here, too. What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth. He got it from the evidence room. He got it from the evidence room. This is a handprint, isn't it? Yep. And it's a handprint that he used to actually put someone else at the scene. Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design? I don't think so. Oh. Well, it was just a thought. Is that it? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it. And a broken shard from a cup? They look like pieces of evidence. But unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Oh, they got something to do with the case, big guy. Great, and I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Let's do it up. Come on, there's got to be something we can show the detective. Oh, there is. There is. Fear not. I got it covered. Let me just examine the rest of this stuff. Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier. Oh, it's you two, Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence, used in a case. A list of evidence? In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this. Hey, look at the case name. Hey, what's up, Kitsune? What's going on, Time? How are you, man? Huh? SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said, I wonder what... No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long? That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. A half-sized list of evidence. That list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it! The chief must be hiding something about that case. It would appear so. Evidence list added to the court record. Almost ready. Take a look at this. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons? Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay. Shh, be careful of what you say. Who knows, the chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak. I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out. Oh, cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy can be. Alright. Who needs evidence when you can have vengeance? I know, right? Detective Gumshoe, did you have another look at this jar? All of us put that back together. Oh, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 instant sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one? That was in the safe? Yes, that one that was in the safe. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Let's do it up. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can piece this together again, it'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. Boom. Thanks, Shadowed. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But, hey guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece you just attached. It's different from the others. Yeah, it's got more blood on it. There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line. That's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? The unstable jar data has been updated. Alright, I got one more of these things for you. And that is, I gotta present to you, let me introduce to you, a handprint for all these years. Can't believe Officer Marshall would do something like that. You know Officer Marshall? Of course I do. He's like a mentor to me. When I first started out, he even gave me a small cactus. Really? He said, Dick, she'll listen to all your troubles. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe talks to a cactus. Hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Someone ought to trade places with him. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Hey, that's not it. What about this then? If I'm fired, I won't be able to give you any information, so that's why I have to get it all out of my system now. You understand, don't you? Don't be so negative, Detective. We do want you to share your information, though. Oh, who am I fooling? I never have anything useful to share to begin with. Ah, got to stay positive. Damn it, I need to show him. I need to get that handprint thing back. Feel a lot better now that this jar is complete. But it only raises another question. What was a piece of it doing in the chief's safe? More importantly, why wasn't there any money in there? Isn't that what safes are for anyway? I have a feeling the outcome of tomorrow's trial just might hinge on this. Okay, I need to get that... Ah, this is the I don't have anything to tell you about that. I need to get that handprint thing. There's a way to do it somehow. I just need to figure out how. That doesn't help. Hey, look here. It's hard to make out, but there's a dark red stain here. Looks like blood. This piece the chief has is different, though. The blood stains on the other pieces are just spots. But this one's a line. That is odd. Is somebody trying to point to something, maybe? I get it. It's in the picture. It's in the picture. This line is pointing right. Now let's take a look at that picture. The evidence list. I know, I don't know what to show him to, like, prove it. That's what the chief was reading before, isn't it? You know, when we first came in here? Yeah, it looks like the right side of the form's been torn off. So Mr. Edgeworth's list really was only half of the whole thing. Something else is bugging me more than that. Take a look at the back of that form, pal. The back? It's a picture of the killing. Yep, that's what I told you guys. That's what he actually killed him with. It wasn't with the knife. He killed him with the King of Prosecutors trophy, which he found on Lana's desk. And so this right there up here, this thing right here, was him stabbing into him. That was the King of Trophies. That's the drawing here. Looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. What is it? Did you find something? I can't make it out. I better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh no, it's nothing. Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright? I better not forget about this picture. I won't forget about it, but I need to get that thing, man. I know, I gotta stop, but I just want to get this one thing done. Urgh. Ah ha ha ha! Whoa, this area must have been covered in blood. Is this from that incident? It must be. When Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. I'm sure that's what it is, Strike. 2 years have passed, the reaction's kind of dull. So murder really did take place here. Alright. Now, what about prints? No, okay, so I can't do that unless it gives me the option. How am I gonna get that one thing back from him? I need to get the handprint thing, Shadowed. There's a handprint thing that he's not giving me. Detective, here's my attorney's badge. You show this to me every time we meet, pal. Real men show their police badge, enough said. Should I have a badge? Even an ID card would be nice. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that. I already know about that. No, you can't use the agent on the trophy. No, you can only use it on... Actually, I could use the agent on the trophy in his office. But the one that Edgeworth has is a different one. It was like the same, similar design, but it's different. Like that one doesn't have the sword, the halberd part. What am I gonna do to get him that thing, man? It's the ID card record, isn't it? Yes, there's only one number left to investigate. At 4:20 p.m., the victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone with an executive officer number. 777777777? That's 17 too many, Detective. An executive officer. I just might have a hunch. Yeah, we know who it is. Just need to get back the bloody... Ugh. Anything? There's got to be something that I can get. I need to get that handprint from him. I mean, I assume I do. I guess it's possible I don't, but